This film, I think, is one of the best films I have seen in a decade.
Wow.
I really enjoyed
Fantastic.
this movie. I had a problem with there not being a score
Yes.
very much.
So I do think it's kind of like, you're plucking from the
Yeah.
whatever the well a little too soon. I feel like if this was like 10 years down the road, this might be a little bit more better, but I do like. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chicago Cinephiles podcast. I am your co-host. Joining with me, as always, is James and Steven. Fellas, how we doing today?
It's a rainy Friday here in Chicago. It's just storming like crazy. My hair got wet coming home from work. I don't know where it is.
Man, did it take like 30 seconds to dry?
Well, I don't know where it is, but somewhere it's wet. Well, if I can find it.
On some alleyway.
Or some drag queen going, where is this?
Well, as you probably can tell, we are doing something a little bit different today with the Oscars coming up. We decided we would do our own predictions, kind of go over the top 10 nominees and kind of give a little quick summary about them. Just kind of more of a crash course. If you don't have time to watch all the movies, we'll kind of tell you the ones to watch and ones to stay away from. So that's kind of how it's going to work. We're going to give a 2-minute, so summary, and then, we'll kind of rank them based on where we think they are. A lot of this is just going to be, the ones we've seen, and then also the ones that kind of what the betting odds suggest, because at the end of the day, follow the money, and that will usually tell you what's going to win. So without further ado, let's start, fellas. I believe I am first with one battle after another, and I have a quick little summary I want to read to you guys. I got to look at my other screen, so bear with me as I look away. One battle after another follows former revolutionary Pat Coulahan, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, who is trying to live a quiet life years after being part of a radical activist group. The film, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, begins with Pat and his partner Perfidia involved in a militant organization called the French 75 that carries out extreme political action against government institutions. During one operation, they make a powerful enemy, Colonel Lockjaw, who becomes obsessed with taking revenge on the group. After a robbery goes wrong, Perfidia is captured and betrays members of the organization, leading to its collapse. Pat, however, escapes with their infant daughter and disappears into hiding. 16 years later, he and his daughter are living under new identities, trying to stay off the radar and leave their dangerous path behind. Their peaceful life is shattered when their old enemy resurfaces and begins hunting down the remaining members of the group. Pat is forced back into a dangerous world of chases, violence, and political conflict while trying to protect his daughter. As the threat closes in, she begins to confront the legacy of her parents' past and prove she is capable of standing up to the people pursuing them. So basically, this is an action movie that blends a little bit of dark humor, political satire. Really, it explores the themes of like rebellion and revenge, obviously, and then how your past can have consequences. It's your typical John Wick movie, I feel like, in a way, where he gets forced back into it,
Sounds a little bit like Unforgiven almost.
It does, exactly the same. Good point, yeah.
One last job.
Basically. So this one, according to the experts, is the betting favorite. Before I even knew that, this was one of the ones I would put in real contender, because this actually is one of the ones that I wanted to see, honestly. So, do you guys have any objections of putting it in one battle and putting it in the real contender category?
No, I don't know. It's a good idea.
No, I actually enjoyed that movie. It was a fun watch, despite being 3.5 hours long. It was a fun watch. Like, I didn't feel 3.5 hours.
Brevity is the soul of wit. Come on, less is more.
Perfect. So I agree. So then this one this one gets the Chicago Cinephiles thumbs up to go watch. Can't see my thumb. Go watch. Next up we have Hamnet, and I believe that's Steven. So Steven, take it away for us.
You said French 75 is the name of the group that they're in?
Yeah.
The Paul Lind has a question on Hollywood Squares. What's a French 75? He goes, hold on a second. That's 25 more than it was last time. Had to say that. So
I highly doubt the director's a Paul Lind fan, but maybe. You never know.
Hey, you never know. I mean, in Hollywood, anything's possible. Hamnet is the emotional reimagined story of the relationship between William Shakespeare and his wife, Anne Hathaway, called Agnes in the film. Set in 16th century England, Shakespeare is a young, struggling writer who meets Agnes, an intuitively spiritual woman said to be the daughter of a forest witch with a deep connection to nature. Agnes becomes pregnant with Shakespeare's child, and they marry against the wishes of their families. Years later, after the birth of their first child and twins, a boy and a girl, Shakespeare spends long stretches of time working in London's theatre world as Agnes raises their children in Stratford. When their twin children fall ill during a plague outbreak, their son Hamnet dies, leaving Agnes devastated. The loss strains the marriage as Agnes grieves in silence and isolation, while Shakespeare grieves through his work. Upon receiving news that Shakespeare has written a new play titled Hamlet, a name interchangeable with Hamnet at the time, Agnes travels to London to see the premiere of the play. At first, she's enraged that the play echoes her son's name and death, but she gradually realizes it is Shakespeare's way of honoring and mourning their child, Hamlet, and sharing his memory with the rest of the world. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a problem with there not being a score very much prevalent until near the end, and then when it came in,
I'm just going to sit here. I'm not saying we're going to put it.
Yeah.
So we're all focusing on it.
I mean, the emotionality of these actors was, I mean, even the child that plays Hamlet, my God, talk about going there. I mean, it's just.
And how did Anne Hathaway play in Shakespeare's time and still be an actor today? How does that make sense?
From the
time travel.
How does that make sense?
Hey, Shakespeare.
I mean the actors. I think they did a great performance. I could definitely see them winning, like possibly winning some Best Actor, Best Actress awards or whatever they're called now.
I think it's a very interesting tale. I really fell for it near the end. I mean, at the very end is when I went crazy for it because I was like, you know,
it all came together.
Gets you in the feels.
And it was the first time that the Hamlet's last words before he dies in the play is "the rest is silence," and then you have this wonderful moment this story of Hamlet is not the rest is silence. This story is going to be told again and again and again and again and again, and keep the memory of their child alive, it really hits you like deeply at the very when all the people at the theater are reaching up. Oh my God. So I really enjoyed it. I don't think I know it was a Golden Globe winner. I don't think it's going to be
You think it maybe it's in the give the fight category? Kind of like just below that tier below?
Oh, I think it's give the fight.
Or you think it's a real contender?
You do? Because of that? I would put somewhere in the middle.
Well, I can't.
So
I would say give the fight. Like
I'm gonna put it and give the fight because I don't want it. I don't want to top load the.
That's what she said.
I mean, it's a good movie, but like, how many Hamlet movies do we need winning Best Picture? Come on.
Well, and there's no horrible producer who's pushing it to win. So at least there's no Gwyneth Paltrow in this one.
Does this give a Chicago Cinephiles thumbs up?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, very much so. Especially if you know the play and you know any of Shakespeare's work.
Next up, we have Secret Agent, which I believe is James. So, James, take it away.
I apologize for my Brazilian pronunciation. So, The Secret Agent, the acclaimed Brazilian political thriller directed by Filho. The Secret Agent opens in 1977 Brazil. Deep into the country's military dictatorship, follows Armando, a widowed former professor who adopts the alias Marcelo as he flees political persecution and tries to reconnect with his young son Fernando during the chaotic carnival season. Arriving with hope, Marcelo quickly discovers that the city, far from a safe haven, is rife with corruption, surveillance, and violence. He takes refuge in a safe house run by a tough but tender Donna, where other political dissidents and refugees have gathered. Through this underground network, he reconnects with old allies and gains a small foothold in the city's resistance community, including Elsa, a passionate leader who warns him that forces are closing in on him. Meanwhile, a corrupt civil police chief befriended Marcelo under false pretenses, and two hired hitmen, Bobby and Augusto, are dispatched by a powerful executive with a grudge against Marsalo to track him down and silence him. His tension builds. Bizarre and surreal events like the discovery of a severed leg found in a captured tiger shark blur the lines between political reality and
Whoa.
irrationality of fear under authoritarian rule, serving both narrative and symbolic purposes. The film weaves Marsalo's desperate attempt to survive with the yearning for his family and normalcy, even as the dictatorship's machinery of violence draws ever nearer. At its heart, The Secret Agent is not a straight espionage story, but a neo-political thriller about resistance, memory, and personal cost of living under repression. Marsalo's journey from hopeful reunion to hunted fugitive becomes a harrowing portrait of an individual caught between past loyalties, an oppressive power structure, and the haunting legacy of a nation unwilling to confront the ghost of its own history. Um, so this movie I is interesting because this is the second time in a row that Brazilian cinema has gotten an Oscar nod for Best Picture. So I'm kind of excited to see what Brazilian cinema is going to happen and see if it might become a powerhouse.
Can't we keep these words in America anymore? Seriously. I mean, come on.
Oh, come on.
Make
Steven.
America great movies again. You know.
I did enjoy this film. However, I don't think it's gonna win. I think it could be a little too heavy-handed, and I don't know if it translates perfectly for an American Island. So I would put it in the highly doubt it category. Like it's an enjoyable film, but like I don't think it's
kudos for taking a horse's head to bed and up the ante by putting a leg in a shark's mouth. I mean, that's pretty, gruesome.
Yeah. I highly doubt it's going to win. I think it's definitely going to win Best Picture International, but like, I don't think it's got a shot for Best Pictures for.
But I feel like you got to have those kind of movies. That's okay, you know. IMDb gives it like a 7.3 out of 10, so that probably fits with what. Okay, perfect.
I mean, that's probably why we went up to 10, so we could have these sort of movies that would never have made it with 5.
So they get some exactly. All right, next up is F1, which is myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and read that off to you guys. So F1 is a high-octane racing drama set in the intense world of Formula One. The film follows Sonny Hayes, a once promising driver played by Brad Pitt, whose career was derailed years earlier by a devastating crash that forced him away from the sport he loved. Decades later, Hayes is given an unexpected opportunity to return when the owner of a struggling Formula One team recruits him to help revive their chances on the track. Now the oldest driver on the grid, Hayes must navigate the modern world of Formula One, where technology, corporate pressure, and fierce competition dominate the sport. He is also tasked with mentoring a talented but headstrong young rookie driver, creating tension between experience and ambition. As the season unfolds, the two drivers clash on and off the track while the team fights to climb the standings. Through intense races across the global Formula One circuit, Hayes confronts the mistakes and fears that ended his first career. Along the way, he must rediscover his passion for racing, prove he still belongs among the sport's elite, and help guide the next generation forward. Blending real race locations, authentic racing footage, and behind-the-scenes drama. Once again, some of the film footage, it was really cool, by the way, but I'll explain in a minute. It talks about legacy, teamwork, redemption, really good themes kind of overall. So this one was my favorite that I watched, honestly. And I liked it because I just think it's a good story. I think hurts it is Ford versus Ferrari only came out a few years ago and it's way better than this. So I do think it's kind of like, you know, you're plucking from the the well a little too soon. I feel like if this was like 10 years down the road, this might be a little bit more you know, better. But I do like how it's a mixture because like Brad Pitt's character is an old school guy. Like he physically walks the track to like learn like the hills and the bumps and the, you know, the degrees of the turns. Whereas his entire team starting out, they're all in a lab. And then by the end of the movie, they're all walking the course with him. It also has, what's the guy's name in No Country for Old Men that's terrifying? The bad guy
Oh
that
yeah,
shoots people in
Javier
the head.
Bardem.
It has him in it, and he plays a fantastic role.
He's always incredible.
As like
Always.
and like I just to see his range was phenomenal. So I think it's gonna
Mm.
so
Did I say this? Just your description of it made me go, wow, the crusty old guy who's had his. It's just like every cliche ever.
basically,
and the cocky new upstart and the technology.
it's exactly what it is.
Yawn. I've seen this a million times.
Yawn. I thought you were going to say because Americans don't care about F1.
No, I mean that too. But.
You know, if it ain't NASCAR, it ain't nothing. I think the Legend of Ricky Bobby should have won an Oscar.
All right, I'm gonna put, just so we can speed this up. I'm gonna put it and could be this. No, I'm gonna keep it highly doubt it because I'll give it a thumbs up, but I like it. But again, Ford versus Ferrari is better. Okay,
Howard, what do you want?
Next up, we have a Sentimental Value, which I believe is, who is that one?
Me,
Steven. Okay, take it away, Steven.
Take it away, Thurston. This film, Sentimental Value, follows two sisters, Nora and Agnes, who reunite with their estranged father, Gustav, after their mother dies. Gustav is a once famous filmmaker who abandoned the family years earlier, leaving deep emotional wounds. Now, aging and trying to revive his career, he writes a deeply personal movie script and asks Nora, a struggling stage actress, to play the lead role. Nora refuses, angry about her father's absence, so Gustav casts a young American actress instead. As the film project develops, old resentments and painful memories resurface between the sisters and their father. Meanwhile, Agnes, an academic historian, begins investigating their family's past, including their grandmother's experiences during World War II, which inspired Gustav's script. Meta. Through rehearsals, confrontations, and moments of reflection, the family slowly begins to confront the emotional damage Gustav caused. By the end of the film suggests that art can become a way to process grief, shock, uncover buried history, and possibly repair fractured relationships. I think this is so. I don't think it has a chance, quite frankly. And again, it just seems like, oh, it's a film about a film about a film about a film about a film. Wow. Okay. It just, again, show me something I haven't seen 1,000 times. Maybe this is a new take on it, but don't you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're talking about a filmmaker in a film. It's not meta.
For reference, it did get a 7.8, so it is ranked higher than some of the other ones so far. So you want to put it? I highly doubt it. James, what do you think? Do you think it's a fair spot for it?
I thought it was better than Secret Agent, but I thought it could be the surprise.
Oh, and by the way, these aren't like oh, we're saying Secret Agent is the top rated and highly doubt. We're just putting them in these categories, by the way.
But I thought it wasn't as bad as, like, yes, they do the same story, but what is not rehashing the same story? So I could go either way. Highly doubt it. It could be the surprise of the night, but whatever.
Yeah, because the filmmakers love films about films.
We'll keep it
that's
there.
The reason.
We'll keep it there. I think it's all right. Next up, I believe we have is pronounced Begonia.
Yes, Begonia. Oh, this movie. All right. Begonia is a dark comedy, surreal sci-fi thriller from director Hugo that blends raw satire, psychological drama, and absurdist violence to explore paranoia, conspiracy culture, and human deception. It's an English language reinterpretation of the cult South Korean film Save the Green Planet. It stars Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. The story centers on Teddy, a hard-on-his-luck beekeeper whose life has unraveled amidst environmental collapse, corporate influence, and personal tragedy. When Teddy becomes convinced through conspiracy podcasts, fringe theories, and his unraveling logic that Michelle Fuller, a powerful pharmaceutical CEO, is actually an alien bent on destroying Earth, he resolves to stop her at any cost. along his impressionable cousin Donnie, Teddy kidnaps Michelle and imprisons her in the basement of his rundown farmhouse. From that setup, Begonia unfolds mostly in close quarter interrogations and psychological duel. Teddy and Donnie's subject Michelle to bizarre rituals, shaving her head, chaining her, and subjecting her to strenuous questioning and surreal tests, all to extract a confession and force her to take them to her supposed extraterrestrial leader. Michelle outwardly claims and razor sharp, sorry, outwardly calm and razor sharp, fights back not with brute force, but with intellectual calm, delivering withering critiques of Teddy's worldview while never confronting or denying his outlandish theory. This thriller into a bizarre, uncomfortable character study, visual, eccentric, and tonally dissonant. Begonia keeps audience off balance, blurring the line between monstrous, cherished, corporate villains and the flawed humans caught between them. At its core, this film is less about whether aliens truly exist and more about what happens when fear, rage, and misinformation take over, a chamber piece of extremes where every character's assumption and delusions fuel a collapse of empathy, raising unsettling questions about the truth and belief in a fractured world.
Did Stan Lee write this?
Can I before you tell your, the reason I was laughing, I have never heard the line say "down on his luck, beekeeper." Like
that's what he is. I mean, that's what he is. Like feeling with these collapsing, like
rolling it though. My God,
like
it's just funny. Like I mean, I'm not saying it's a wrong description, but it's just hilarious.
Sorry,
hey, baby,
like this movie could have been so great. Like this could have been like a masterpiece for considering what is happening at this time with people falling in conspiracy theories and all this stuff. However, the last 15 minutes of this film kills that movie and just craps all over it. So
Emma is
I think Hollywood
right now. It's like, what are you doing? What are these films?
She actually does a stellar performance. I'm not gonna lie.
These things
she's the best part of the film.
Of course, but come on. I mean,
so
I would actually put it because I think Oscars, it could be a surprise of the night because this is a movie that Hollywood loves, even though the ending is stupid. Like if you watch this movie, stop watching the last 10 minutes, you will be happy.
Sorry, IMDb gives it a 7.4, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, your description did not really appeal to me, not because you did it wrong, but just because like that just sounds too far-fetched, like sci-fi for
every
me.
Day in the Ozarks. Here, I think there's an alien over here. I'm gonna prove it. Like, well, okay, that's a great story.
Oh, it's totally out there. Like this movie I thought was gonna be awesome, and it's just because I like
don't you hate that
weird movies.
Emma.
And it's all right. In the last 15 minutes.
Easy A, Emma. We on easy A, Emma back.
Well, we go from one alien to another alien. Marty Supreme, Lord, the way he acts.
Sweet Jesus.
I've got a quick summary of him because I have a lot of opinions about the movie, so I did a quicker summary. Marty Supreme follows Marty Mauser, a bold and ambitious young man in 1950s New York who dreams of becoming the greatest table tennis player in the world. Though the sport isn't taken seriously in America, Marty believes he can turn himself to a global star through talent, charm, and relentless self-promotion. After taking a risky gamble to fund a trip overseas, Marty travels to London to compete in a major international tournament. Along the way, he gets swept up in high society, complicated relationships, and the pressures of living up to his own hype. As the competition intensifies, Marty must prove that he's more than just a showman and that his skills can match his ambition. So that's a real vague one because so much happens in this movie. And it's annoying because only about 5% of the movie, maybe even less, deals with ping pong or table tennis, whatever. Like, it's the most random things ever. Like, he gets involved with, like, a mob guy. He gets, like...
a movie star.
Like, his like his pregnant girlfriend, whatever you'll call it, gets shot randomly. Like they lose like the mobster's dog and have to go to a redneck's house and try to get it. And he shoots him with the like 12 gauge. Like it is so random. They fall through the freaking bathtub. Like it is the most random movie I have ever seen in my entire life. And also Gwyneth Paltrow's in it, so we still get our Hamlet reference or our Shakespeare reference with Gwyneth Paltrow. What was y'all's take on it? I'm not going to ask Steven because I know he hates it. James, what did you think?
This movie wins the best picture. I'm done watching the Oscars. Like this movie is garbage.
And I wanted to like it. I really did because I thought it was a cool concept, but he is one of the worst characters I've ever seen in my entire life.
And you said in your description, living up to his own hype. Isn't that what Timothy's trying to do here with this movie?
He was like America's greatest like ping pong player, which ain't saying much. I mean, it's like
you said it wasn't really a respected sport. It's not respected now. No one's going. Oh, I got to run
well,
the NBA, and then
it is in Asia. Don't check yourself, sir.
Are we in?
But but that's what it says. He's trying to make it
this country. You said this country.
Well, yeah, but he's trying to make it kind of like how curling no one cares about except for every 4 years. So it's just like his way of making it. Also, if you have Mr. Wonderful as one of the main characters, he's a billionaire. He's not an actor. Like, please go away.
Oh yeah,
he's Kevin. To pull a Trump.
Kevin O'Leary. He's not. He doesn't play a terrible part, but it's like, bruh, come on.
Kevin O'Leary, 2028.
I'm gonna put it in real contender just because people love this movie so much,
and everybody loves Chalamet. Good Lord.
I don't think. I think that's just realistically. I think that's the best spot for it. What do y'all think?
I think you're right.
I think you're right, but I hate that you're right.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not happy about it.
Such an overt, grab for an Oscar for him, the movie. Everybody, this will be an Oscar movie. Why don't you put a nun that said the Holocaust in it? That'll really give you an Oscar movie. Come on.
All righty. Let's move on to Train Dreams now.
Train Dreams. Train Dreams, I'm going to do a short one for this one. Follows Robert Grenier, a quiet laborer working on logging crews and railroads in the early 1900s American Northwest. After building a simple life with his wife and daughter, tragedy strikes while he is away working, leaving him alone and grieving. Over the years, he continues drifting from job to job, witnessing the wilderness and frontier life slowly change as railroads and modern society sweeps across the region. The film reflects on one ordinary man's lonely life, and the passing of a rugged era in American history. What do you think, James?
Hey, I think it could be a surprise of the night, but I highly doubt it.
It sounds interesting, honestly. Like, I like that, like, because you're talking about, Steven, you're talking about something unique, and like, I'm not saying this is like completely unique, but like, this is to me is unique enough to where I would maybe give this a chance because it is kind of a little bit of different thing. The pioneer in the 1800s trying to get used to like, society or whatever. I don't know. I kind of like that.
I think the Oscars are much more interested in everymen who are sort of these Capra-esque everymen. You know what I mean? These goals and with these souls of truth and justice, and not sort of a lonely. Oh well, look at you. You want the Jimmy Stewarts and the Tom Hankses for those everymen, not this kind of everyman. I would say, if we're looking at Oscars history.
So where would you guys put Train Dreams?
I'd put it there, if not below. What about you, James?
Give it a fight, or?
No, I think he's saying surprise or highly doubt it.
I think it'd be a surprise of the night. I would agree with that.
I'm fine with that. Awesome. Next up, Frankenstein.
All right. Frankenstein movie, year of horror films. So Frankenstein, the 2025 adoption of Mary Shelley's classic by Del Toro. Frankenstein opens in the frozen Arctic in 1857, where a Danish expedition ship discovers and gravely injured Baron Victor Frankenstein, an obsessive scientist driven by a single forbidden goal. Shortly after rescuing him, the crew is suddenly confronted by a towering, nearly immortal creature capable of withstanding the brutal cold. When the creature demands Victor's surrender, The doomed scientist begins to recount the tragic story of how it all begins, kind of like Amadeus. Victor's Victor's origins are rooted in the loss and ambition after his mother dies in childbirth and his emotionally distant father favors his younger brother. Victor becomes obsessed with overcoming death. His brilliance in medicine leads him down a dark path, defying nature by reanimating dead tissue in a quest for immortality. By the life he creates is not the obedient being he imagined, a creature endowed with superhuman strength and regenerative properties evolves rapidly, learning language, emotions, bittersweet of rejection, shunned by society and misunderstood by everyone around him. He yearns not for vengeance at first, but for belonging. As Victor's creation grows in awareness and anguish, the story turns tragic. On the night of Victor's brother's wedding, the creature confronts him with a heartbreaking demand of a companion to spare him the loneliness of eternity. Victor, horrified by his own handiwork, refuses and the ensuing chaos. Del Toro's Frankenstein blends gothic horror with deep emotional layering, transferring Shelley's tale into into a meditation on creation, responsibility, isolationist, and the human yearning for connection. The movie asks the question, who is truly the real monster?
That's Frankenstein.
That's a cool take on it.
I'm much rather interested in seeing The Bride. Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride.
It looks terrifying.
I've seen that this weekend. But I think this could be a gives a fight. Like, I honestly think
people do love Del Toro. You're right. The Academy, especially. I think,
like, the director, the cast, the acting, and it also the non-linear storytelling. You get Frankenstein's perspective. You get the monster's perspective. Like, I think it's an interesting take. I would give this the fight.
Okay. All right, last one. Sinners, which I think is James as well.
Yes, I am
so giggly.
I love this movie and I am unabashed about it. So, all right. Sinners is a Southern Gothic supernatural thriller that blends horror, history, and family drama into a tense, character-driven story. Set in the early 20th century American South, the film follows twin brothers, both portrayed by Michael B. Jordan, who returned to the Mississippi hometown after years away. Carrying reputations shared by violence and buried mistakes, they hope to rebuild their lives and claim a sense of belonging. But their homecoming quickly turns unsettling. The town feels different, quieter, fearful, and shadowed by something unspoken. As they reconnect with old friends, former lovers, and community members, rumors surface of strange deaths and unexplained occurrences. What first appears to be social tension rooted in the brutal realities of the Jim Crow South slowly reveals itself something far darker and more supernatural. An ancient evil seems to be feeding off the town's pain, hatred, and buried sins. Directed by Ryan Coogler, the film uses horror not just for scares, but as a metaphor for generational trauma, guilt, and moral reckoning. The twins are forced to confront the choices that drove them years away, as well as the systematic forces shaping their world. As the supernatural threat escalates, so does the emotional stakes, testing their loyalty to each other and the community they once abandoned. By the climax, Sinners becomes both a fight for survival and spiritual reckoning. It's a story about redemption under impossible circumstances where confronting literal demons mirrors the struggles to overcome the sins of the past. This film, I think, is one of the best films I have seen in a decade.
Wow.
I put it up that high. If it does not win, I'm going to be mad because this is the first time in like 40, 50 years that a horror film has a shot at winning Best Picture. Like this, not only that, this
Silence of the Lambs
is amazing. Yeah, well,
I guess that's almost 40 years ago now.
I guess 30 years, yeah. So, like, I don't know. This movie is so good. Like, it has everything, vampires, everything. I think it's one of the best films I've seen in 10 years that's come out.
Oh.
Like, I will put it that high.
That's high praise.
About Cimarron? I mean, come on.
Cimarron came out in 1930, almost 100 years ago. Like, no. But no, Stephen,
But
no.
the legacy of that film and those black boots that never got dirty in the Old West. I mean, that's amazing.
Okay, so we think these three are the contenders. I'm going to ask each one of you to give me a vote. James, which one do you think wins out of these three? One Battle After Another, Sinners, or Marty Supreme?
I really hope it's Sinners, but I think it might be One Battle After Another.
Well, what's your vote?
Sinners.
Okay, Steven?
I'm
Or
gonna
you
say
can, or you can vote Hamnet if you want to. I
I'm
guess.
gonna say one battle after because I think it may be that year. I don't know. Let's just
Yeah, I'm gonna go one, and I'm gonna go one battle. And so I did pull up the betting odds, so I do want to read these out to you guys, and then we'll hop off because, like I said, we try to keep a shorter episode. There's a 74% chance that real contender or that one battle after another wins, followed by Sinners at 23%, Hamnet actually at 2%, and then Marty Supreme at 1%.
2%. Wow.
Now, best director goes to, according to this, 93% to Paul Thomas Anderson, which is for One Battle After Another. Best actor, 49% chance is Timothée Chalamet. And then 41% is Michael B. Jordan. I feel like you're playing two characters. You should win that. Like, well, if that's the case, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall should be winning 1 million Oscars. Here we go. Best actress. This is for you, Stephen. 96% chance that Jessica Buckley from Hamnet will win.
What about Liza Minnelli? Oh, she's not nominated. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this is the 21st century.
I can see for best actress. That would make sense.
I do.
She did a really good job.
I mean,
and then the best original screenplay, Sinners has a 96% chance to win.
Wow, I hope
if it does
sweeps.
Wow.
And then it says best supporting actor is Sean Penn at 74%. Best supporting actress, this is pretty close. It's Amy Madigan at 43% or Teyana Taylor at 32%.
You know, if you had been in the theaters in the 80s and watched, what's his name did you just said for best supporting?
Sean Penn?
Sean Penn. If you'd seen Sean Penn as Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont, no one in the theater in the 80s said, that's going to be an Oscar-winning actor. That guy is going to have a spectacular, right here, dude. Like, who knew that was who we'd have? And he's
all right.
Glorious career.
So the TLDR, if you didn't pay attention and you just skipped to the end, we think that One Battle After Another will win. However, we recommended Sinners, Hamnet. Did we give a thumbs up on Frankenstein or no?
I give a thumbs up on Frankenstein.
Okay. Frankenstein, and then I gave one on F1. I think. And then did you give one on Secret Agent?
I think Secret Agent's a good movie to see.
Okay, and then Sentimental Value, Stephen, you don't think is a thumbs up? It's just not. Yeah. Yeah, so those are our three. Obviously, let us know your thoughts below. Like I said, this is a shorter episode. We kind of wanted to give you guys a crash course just because, like, unlike James, most of us don't have chances to watch 10 movies a night. So
some of us have to, have a single lives with no wives and,
That being said, we really do appreciate you guys so much. Please let us know below if you're watching this, obviously, before, because that makes sense to watch it after. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think should win. And then we may do an emergency podcast if Marty Supreme wins, where we just film James destroying a room.
Or I start to suck up some anthrax so I can.
James will destroy a room and Steven will twerk on camera. That's what'll happen.
Oh, there's not a camera wide enough on this planet.
I will destroy a room while twerking.
Oh my God. Oh my!
I kind of want the booty shorts.
I kind of want Marty Supreme. Can you wear it with this juicy on the back?
Ready for this belly.
I thought that was already applied.
Can you imagine?
All right, y'all. And with that, this, like I said, very special short Chicago Cinephiles. We are going to be off next week due to some vacation, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy the Oscars. And this is the Chicago Cinephiles podcast. Signing out.
Bye.